Hello MBA aspirants, welcome to MBA 360. This is your mentor Ravi. We'll be talking about IIM Lucknow's placement today and going in details about the placement data. We'll be talking about the salary data, the recruiters, and the job role-wise performance for the IIM Lucknow. Let's talk about the institute first. It's established in 1984 and it's part of the top initial institutes which is more popular as Blackie, Bangalore, Lucknow, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Kozhikode and Indore. And it's institutes of national eminence. It's spread over 200 acres. So among IIMs, you would say this is one which is higher than even IIM Calcutta, which has 135 acres land. It has another campus in Noida, but that's not used for the regular program. Its NIF ranking is 5. So it's among the top 5 institutes in India as per the data submitted to Government of India. Total students is 1215 and female to male ratio is 70:30. So 856 male students and 356 female students. Outside state students is almost 89%. So you have most of the students coming from outside of Uttar Pradesh. Faculty is 141 compared to 1215 students. So you have almost 1:9 ratio, which is much better than the required 1:15 as per the AICTE norm. Moving on to placements, as per the data submitted to NRF, we are giving you a 3 years data from 2021-22 to 22-23 and 23-24. So the placements against admitted has improved from 92% to 97% to 100%. But we also put out data against intake. So against intake, if you see, it has been 92%, then 95%, and then 99%, which is almost 100%. But then being a public institute, we want them to recruit full capacity, which they have not been doing. If you see in the last 2 years, in terms of 22, 23, 23, 24, there has been a gap in terms of the sanctioned intake and the admitted students. There is another thing in terms of the median salary. The median salary has moved from 29 to 30 lakhs and it has remained at 30 lakhs as per the data submitted to NIRF. But if you go to the institute data and look at the placement brochure, the actual data which has been mentioned over there is 27 lakhs for the year 23-24. So they have tried to keep the data same or the median salary same to maybe have a better ranking in the 23-24. And this has been done by a couple of institutes also. But then being a public institute, we would expect IIM Lucknow not to do that and then be upfront. Or it could be a reason that their two departments are putting up two different data. Now let's talk about the 23-25, the latest year placement data, which has been taken from the institute and where we look at the top 10%, top 25% and top 50% data. The average salary has moved from 31. You see that the median salary was 30 lakhs. Then average salary is 31 to 32 and then 30 lakhs. So it has been remained constant. So over the years, the placements is doing good. It's not a reason that it is always increasing, but then even if it's being maintained, there has been a slight drop in 23-24 for all institutes if you look at. The top 10% are getting 51 lakhs in the 3 years back, which moved to 49.3 and it has come back to 50 lakhs for 23-24. Top 25% is 44 and top 50% is 37. Basis this top 10%, top 25% and top 50%, we can also calculate the bottom 50%, bottom 25% and bottom 10%. So if the top 50% or half of the batch was getting 37 lakh, the remaining batch has got an average of 23 lakhs. And then the bottommost students have got somewhere around 17 lakh, which is lower than 20 lakhs. So there could be students who are in the last leg could be getting around 15 lakh salaries also. So that is what you need to also understand when you're looking at the colleges. Moving on to the job roles, you would see that consulting is at 38%, which is very good and which is typically in all the top-notch IIMs. It would be in the range of 35 to 40% because the consulting role are higher for the top institutes. Then you have general management role 21% and banking finance 15%. So all this adds up to 75% of the batch. Let's talk about the job roles and offer made domain wise. So as in good institutes, the consulting plays a very high percentage and you would see similar number here in terms of 38% of the students or 2 students getting consulting roles, and with a higher salary of 45.5 and median salary of 36.6. The next category was general management role, which was 21% with 53 and 29.2 as the highest and mean salaries. Then finance which is 15% with highest salary is 75. So actually if you look at the finance was the salary which had the highest salary in terms of across domains, and then a mean salary of 32.5. If you add these three, consulting, management and finance, the 75% of the batch has been placed in these kind of roles, and the very few in sales and marketing and IT and analytics, which is another trend, 15%. As you see, when you move down, you would see that the sales and marketing roles increase in the tier 2 and tier 3 categories, and that's how you are able to differentiate between the top colleges and the tier 2 and tier 3 colleges. The highest CTC was 42.5 and 53.6 for operations. So operation is another area where you can score high salaries if you see across. And then 29.6 was in operations and 28.2 in sales and marketing. Let's look at the companies which come for recruitment over here. If you see, looking at the top recruiters, you have among the consulting, you have Bain & Company, you have McKinsey coming, and also BCG. Okay, then there are big four companies which are Accenture, Deloitte, EY, also present here. In terms of MNC companies, you have American Express, you have MasterCard, and then in FMCG, Procter & Gamble coming over here, then Target also being there. Tata Administrative Services, which is on the similar lines of Indian Administrative Services, and these people selected, they go into the senior positions. They have a high fast track growth in the Tata Group companies. They also come for placement. Beyond that, you have Goldman Sachs, Lincoln International, Loda Group, and Microsoft also participating among the top recruiters at IIM Lucknow. We have looked at the LinkedIn profile to understand, where currently the alumni are. So there are a total of 32,658 alumni on LinkedIn. And the top 5 companies where they are working are Accenture, Amazon, Deloitte, and EY, along with TCS. So 396 employees are currently working in Accenture, whereas at some point of time, 1,806 employees had worked in Accenture, 387 in Amazon, 367 in Deloitte, and then 200 plus in EY and TCS. And these are the numbers, if you look, more than 1,000 plus in terms of they have worked at some point of time in this companies. So what you would understand is these are the main companies who keep coming to these campuses for regular recruiting, and then people are also continuing to work in these companies. Moving ahead and analyzing the Mang companies, which is in terms of Meta, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. There are 25 alumni who are currently working in Meta, 18 in Apple, 387 in Amazon, which is among the top recruiters also, then 131 in Google, and 3 in Netflix. These are the number of students in terms of 1,100 people at some point of time worked in Amazon, 364 in Google, and then 60, 58, and 6 for Meta, Apple, and Netflix from IIM Lucknow. Again, analyzing LinkedIn alumni data, looking at the demographics of the alumni, 85% of the alumni are working in India, which means that 15% of the alumni are working in the world across, outside India. In that, you would see that United States has 5%, then United Kingdom has 2%, then Canada and Singapore has 1% each. In India, you have 23% working in Delhi NCR region, then 18% and 15% around in Karnataka, and Telangana 5%. To understand better, you should also look at summer placement reports at the institute. We have seen that good companies come over there, and there is actually the institute had put up last 7 years placement data at their institute website. So that gives you a good idea about the companies. A lot of companies do come for summer internships, and then they give PPOs which comes in final placements. We also request you to subscribe to MBA 360 because we will be making a lot of videos around MBA colleges. And if you are an MBA aspirant and you want to understand how to go about selecting your colleges, this is one channel which should be your go-to channel. Thank you.